You tune into the SportsCast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the SportsCast. Tune into the SportsCast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in to the OutSpoken SportsCast. This is your host Brian. I'm doing the weekly recap of the NFL. It's week 5 has already come and gone, guys. We had 13 missed extra points over the weekend. We had overtime games. We had comebacks from Philadelphia and Baltimore. We had teams coming back down to earth. We had a lot going on this last weekend. We had some fantastic football to watch. So let's jump into it. So first was a Thursday night game. You had the Rams, who they squeezed by Seattle on Thursday night. Russell Wilson's finger is messed up. He tore a ligament in his I believe his middle finger, and it was looking all weird all game. He had to sit out late in that game, I believe later in the third quarter, and the Rams get the win, but it wasn't very impressive. I think if Russell Wilson's able to play, maybe he brings them back and then they win the game. The Rams only put up 3 points in the first half, but came out in the second half looking totally different on offense. So something switched, something changed. Maybe they woke up, but at the end of the day, they get the victory against a division rival and a tough Seattle team at times with Russell Wilson. Without Russell Wilson, Seattle's done. They are done and over with. I don't think they can win without him. So that was the Thursday night game. Next is the Green Bay game. Now, I went out with a buddy of mine, Brandon, and we went out to what's that place? We went out to Boomer Jacks. My first time there. We were able to watch the game. We had a good time. Now, we played the Bengals. We won the game. Crosby missed 3 field goals, though. He missed an extra point and 2 field goals, but finally hits the game winner in overtime. Adams went off this game. He had 206 yards receiving. I can't talk today. Rodgers was throwing at him all day long, sometimes forcing it in there when other guys are wide open, but but he went off. He had a really good game. And I like Joe Burrow, man. I like to watch him play. Him and Jamar Chase are fantastic. Jamar Chase is making fantastic catches. They're a fun team to watch. So next time you get a chance to watch them to play, feel free to watch it. The Packers win this game, though, 25-22. I'm on the edge of my seat. Every field goal that they kicked, I'm on the edge of my seat. Miss here, miss there. Their kicker actually missed a field goal. He thought he made it. He's all jumping up and down, celebrating, and then realized that he didn't make it. So it was kind of funny. But that was a really good and competitive game to watch. Not the best offensive performance by Green Bay, but it was a good game and a win nonetheless. All right, Falcons find a way to not blow it versus the Jets. As they were up pretty big, but the Jets come back in this game and make it a game that the Jets lose, though, 27-20, and this is the first game in London. Both these teams are bad. Not really much to talk about in this one. The Lions lose another heartbreaker. My goodness, can this team finds ways to lose. They lose 19-17 versus the Vikings. The Vikings hit a game-winning field goal with no time left and keep the Lions winless. The Lions have not won a game yet, and I believe they are the first team to lose in the first 5 weeks by field goals with no time on the clock. So heartbreaking loss for them. Their head coach, Dan Campbell, got emotional and teary-eyed after the end of the game, saying that, you hate to see his guys give it his all, give it their all, but find a way and just lose. And it's in how depleting that can be at times. But Lions are 0-5, so. Next, we got the Steelers. They finally put up over 17 points, as that's kind of been the thing, is they really haven't scored over 17 points the last couple weeks. They beat the Broncos 27-19. Harris, the rookie running back, had 122 yards. He looked good. He got those yards against the defense of the Denver Broncos, who's supposed to be really tough and good, and they just didn't. They let him score 27. It's not a good performance from them today. Denver they come back to reality, and I've been saying this from the get-go. They haven't really played anybody, and then when they did, they got beat, and they played the Steelers, and I actually predicted the Broncos to win this game because Big Ben is washed, and they do have a good defense, but their offense is struggling, and like I said, they haven't put up over 17 points in a couple games, so the Denver Broncos let me down here, but they're coming back to reality of finding out the team they really are, and that they really do need a better quarterback. And that they need to play better overall. But I'm looking forward to see that defense grow together. That's one thing I'm looking for out of Denver. The Buccaneers dominate Miami 45-17. Not much to talk about there. Brady has over 400 yards and 5 touchdown passes. The Saints win, and this was a sloppy football game, 33-22 over the football team in Washington. Winston had 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. It was a good game for him. He only had about 190 yards passing, but he threw 4 touchdowns and only 1 pick, and that's a good game from Jameis Winston. Heineke looked bad in this. He threw 2 interceptions. He was just throwing the ball up. It looked like it. It was not a good outing for him in this game. I like his confidence that he has, Heineke, and I think it's great that he's got a chance to play, but he's got to play better if he expects to win. And this defense for the Washington football team is not really as good as it was last season. So we talk about that here, and defense doesn't carry over, and so far they haven't, and it's really hurt that team. But the Panthers choke it away against the Eagles. Darnold throws 3 interceptions. They let Philly back into the game, and they lose. And the Panthers have come back down to reality as well after facing the Cowboys last week, getting dominated, and they choked it up against the Eagles in this one. The Eagles aren't even a good team, so the Panthers are coming back to reality, and this offense seems to run through McCaffrey because they've had 2 games without him. They've lost both. I thought with the weapons that they had, and maybe Darnold bringing his career back, that they could get over the hump of Christian McCaffrey, but it looks like he's still so vital to this offense. And I know he's a really good player. He's injury prone a lot, and that's a big issue for them. But when he's on the field, by far, he brings this offense alive. And they struggled against the Eagles and let them back in it, and the Hurts was able to get the job done. The Titans bounced back this week, 37-19 over the Jaguars. I predicted that they would. And that's an easy prediction to make there. In my predictions this week, I'm 12-4. So fantastic week for me. I'm predicting who is going to win. So next, we got the Texans. Man, it scared me this game. Mills looked really good for Houston with over 300 yards passing and 3 TDs versus the Patriots. But they lose the lead, and the Patriots end up getting a game-winning field goal to win 25-22. And this had me scared because I picked the Patriots to win this game in my Survivor League, and I haven't lost yet. So, them almost losing. I was watching this game very closely at Boomer Jacks, and I thought the Patriots were actually going to lose, and that would have been most of our league because most of the league picked the Patriots, but they ended up getting the job done, and I remain alive on the Survivor Island game. So that's good for me on that one. Bears defense gets the win in Chicago over the Raiders. Or do the Raiders quit on their team because of Gruden? And I know it's been a big hot topic, and it's going to be. And maybe want my opinion right now. I'm not going to give you my opinion right now on it. I'm going to save that for our main show on Friday with Jeff. That's going to be the spotlight of the week, so feel free to listen into that coming up to feel what we think about the John Gruden incident and situation going on there or not going on there, as he has resigned as the head coach of that team. But did the Raiders quit? They just got beat 20-6 from the Chicago Bears. Fields didn't look good in this game. He only had 111 passing yards, 1 touchdown. He wasn't that great. I don't see how they lost this bad against them. The Bears defense playing really well right now, and but it makes you wonder, did they quit on Gruden? The Raiders have been pretty good this year, and they put up points on the board, and maybe they made a statement. I don't know. But they lost 20-6 to Chicago, and just not a good game, not a good look. And then John Gruden has found his way out in Las Vegas. The Chargers and Browns, what a shootout this game was. This game was a game I wish I could have watched, but I was stuck watching the Giants try and compete with the Cowboys, and that was a boring game. But this was the shootout goes to the Chargers, 47-42. Herbert continues to look fantastic, 398 yards and 4 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield had 305 and 2 touchdowns. He had a great game as well. Both teams played excellent. The defense could have been better for both when you're giving up 40-something points. This is one of those crazy games that the Browns, they rushed for over 230 yards rushing. Okay, they won the time of possession, but they ended up losing. So this is one of those weird games. It's usually once you lead in rushing and you lead in time of possession, and your quarterback has the 305 and the 2 touchdowns, and you go back and look at these stats. They're like, man, I can see the Browns easily winning this game. This is one of those games I think if the Browns can just shrug their shoulders, say, hey, this was just a game we lost. Right? It's just a game that the better team beat us today, and so I don't think they're hanging their head too low with this loss and with the Cleveland Browns. But great game by Herbert, and Herbert continues to shine. Cowboys dominate the easy Giants 44-20. They beat them by 24 points. The Giants didn't have a chance, and that was before they lost Jones, Barkley, and their wide receiver. All got hurt during this game. Backup quarterback in, and they didn't have a chance before, and they have no chance after. So this was a boring game to watch, and this is one of those games that the Cowboys kind of started off sloppy. They had a fumble here, they had an interception there, and this is one of those games that the Cowboys would usually play down to their opponents. They would have a fumble, they would have an interception, they would have a play here, and they would end up losing this game, or they would barely win, and you would go away with some question marks. And this is what I see different about this team this year, is they're dominating the bad teams. And that's what a good team does. When they play a bad team, and you can say, yeah, they who have they played, right? I'm not talking about Cowboys in general, but when this comes up and you see, oh, yeah, but they play the Giants. Well, they dominate the Giants, right? They beat them. You don't control your schedule. You just control how you play against those teams. When a good team comes up, you want to be able to beat them, or at least keep it close and have a chance to win. When a bad team comes up, you want to be able to dominate them. And the Cowboys have done that so far this year. They've dominated the bad teams. They beat the Chargers, which is a good team. They came close to beating the Bucs. So this is one of those games that, to me, I see 44 points. The offense is scoring a lot of points. They only gave up 20. This is a good game for the Cowboys. And, you can look at it and say, yeah, it's the Giants, and it's an easy win. And, which I can agree with, easy win. But they handle their business. I'm not knocking them for handling their business. And they got the win. Next week they go to the Patriots. We'll see how they go up against that defense. But right now the Cowboys looking really good. So the Cardinals struggled but they get the win over the Niners, 17-10. The Niners without Jimmy Garoppolo. They started the rookie quarterback, and Trey Lance, and he wasn't good. He had an interception. He threw for like 200 yards, I think. He had an interception. This was a defensive slugfest. Murray didn't look too excellent in this game. They struggle to score points. So I'm just interested to see Trey Lance get better. Now, this is his first game against a tough Cardinals team. But he's hurt now, too. He took a shot trying to score a touchdown. He should have passed the ball down in the flat to the wide running back. He decided to take it himself, got denied, took a big shot. He ends up getting hurt, will miss two or 3 weeks. They better hope they have Jimmy Garoppolo back next week, or it's not going to look very good for the San Francisco 49ers, and you can't get behind too much in this division if you want to keep up. But I'm interested to see about the Cardinals because it's interesting that they struggle with this defense. The defense is good for the 49ers, but to only put up 17 points when you put up over 30-something points a game is a little worrisome, right? The Cardinals are overachieving this season. We didn't expect them to come in here and do this. That's why they're overachieving. And I'm not saying they're a bad team or gotten lucky, but it's kind of like the Carolina Panthers were 3-0, and I'm like, we'll see. The Broncos were 3-0. I think they're going to come back down to earth, and they both have. They've lost the last 2 games. So when is that drop-off going to happen for the Cardinals, or is it? Is it going to happen, or are they going to continue to win? And winning's all that matters, right? At the end of the day, a win's a win, whether you win by 10 points, 24 points, 3 points, 1 point, it doesn't matter. And the Cardinals won here, so they can fix what was wrong this game and go forward and see about changing some things up against the 49ers next time. But a little worrisome to only score 17 points when you've been putting up 30. Maybe the 49ers defense is that good. I don't know. But just keep an eye out for them. They are 5-0. I predicted them to win this week, and they did. They're 5-0 and continue to win games. So the Bills make a statement with a dominant win over the Chiefs, 38-20. This is a statement game, man. The Bills, they've dominated. They started off season slow. They lost the Steelers, right? And that was a game they should have won if Allen had hit a couple wide receivers. He was a little wild that game, overthrew a couple wide receivers. That would have been touchdowns, and they ended up losing to the Steelers. They've dominated teams that they've played after that, but it's been really easy teams. They go into the Chiefs. They win by 18 points. This is a dominant performance. This is saying, hey, guys, we're here, and we are the number 1 team in the NFC, and it's not the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes throws 2 more interceptions this game. He's struggling. The Chiefs are struggling a little bit. But this was a game that Buffalo's been on the map. This is the game, a statement game that says, man, we're here, we've arrived, and we are the team to compete with, not the Chiefs. So look forward to them, man. The defense is playing well. Allen had 315 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's not turning over the football. And they came in and just handled it. The Colts last night on Monday Night Football were up 22-9 in the fourth quarter, and they lose in overtime to Baltimore. Ravens score 16 points in the fourth to force overtime and win it. Lamar Jackson's last 2 weeks has been fantastic. He had 442 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Wentz also threw for 402 yards, which is surprising there too. But Baltimore got the win, and the Colts, they let off the gas pedal. They made some mistakes. They had a missed field goal. They had a blocked field goal. They allowed Baltimore to win this game. This is a game that Baltimore shouldn't have won. They've got lucky on 2 games now. I'm not sold on Baltimore. They got lucky on the Lions win with a 66-yard field goal most of the time that does never going to go in. And then they were down 22-9 to the Colts, and the Colts let off the gas pedal. So I'm not sold on Baltimore yet. Lamar Jackson's kind of proven us wrong about throwing the ball. He threw against Denver last week over 307 yards. He had 442 yards this week, so he's looking good. And maybe he's working on that, on his ability to throw the ball, but he's definitely a force to be reckoned with out there with his legs and his arms. He's a good quarterback. We'll have to see it. I've come out with a hot take that I don't think he'll ever win a Super Bowl, and we'll see if that pans out. I have nothing against him. I just don't think with his play that they're going to be able to win, and I think the defenses are going to be able to figure him out. And when that happens, it's hard for a quarterback that doesn't throw the ball all too well to make those changes. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. He's played really good the last couple weeks, so we'll see where he goes from there. But week 5 was a good week. My team won. I went 12-4, picking the predictions going forward. So this is the Tuesday night episode. I'm going to put this out in the weekly NFL recaps. Look forward to our podcast show with both me and Jeff on it on Friday nights, and we do that, and we'll put our spotlight of the week. It's going to be John Gruden and the information and all the stuff that has gone on with him, and so I'm waiting to give my take on that. So feel free to listen to this. Feel free to come back and listen on Friday or Saturday when we have that out. So hope you guys have a fantastic week, and God bless.